New York, big city of dreams.
I'm coming straight out.
New York, big city of dreams.
NYC.
What's going on? This is Jailus from Nick of Time Show here, giving you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And you know what? I know the Knicks just lost yesterday to the Boston Celtics, but I'm not in the mood to have like a woe is me type of. I'm not in the mood to that. That's not my mood today, Alex. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm hitting the gunshots anyway. All right, because we lost. We did lose. Yes, we did lose. But you know what? The ascension of RJ Barrett is apparent. It seems like he read the clippings. Because you know RJ Barrett, as much as he likes to play it cool in front of everybody, he holds grudges. All right? He takes names. He holds grudges. He probably wrote down everybody who voted against him in the ESPN list, 25 under 25, and didn't put him on that list. And he saw their faces when he was shot 6 from 6 from the three-point line, all right? Oh. That's how I saw it in my head anyway. So we definitely going to talk about the Knicks versus the Celtics game, but I also want to take this time to kind of like, you know, big up the Barrett, man. Big up the guy from up top from Canada. Shout out to the Maple Syrup gang over there, all right? So before we get into the show, though, let me introduce my guy from the pod down under, from the pod across the street. It is Alex Trataros, host of Knicks, Jets, etc. My man was in the belly of the beast yesterday in Boston. Enemy
Damn
territory. Right. How you feeling, man? How you doing?
I'm recovering, JLS. Had a little bit of a hangover this morning, but I'm alive. You know, didn't go the way that we thought. I thought it would have been a game the Knicks could have gotten after that tough Nets loss, but it was a sloppy game, you know, and it was a rough one, man. It was a rough one. Had a good time with the fiance being there, but man, I really wish we got that win, especially against the Celtics. It was just, I can't take it, man. I can't take it.
Yeah, man. Losing to the Celtics is just one of those things. It's a New York-Boston rivalry. Between the Knicks and the Celtics, the Yankees and the Red Sox. It's always going to be a thing where you just don't want that loss. But it is what it is. I screw that noise. I'm going to talk about RJ Barrett today. That's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about RJ Barrett today. And we're going to get to the game, though, for sure. We're definitely going to get to the game for sure. But I still want to talk about Barrett, so give me 1 sec. All right. Okay, my screens are a little messed up for some reason, but that's okay. We're still going to make it work. All right. Cool. So RJ Barrett ends up scoring 29 points, 10 of 14, 6 from 6 from 3-point percentage. All right. And here's the thing about RJ and what I'm liking about his game. We've all been saying that he needs this swing skill needs to be the shooting. We've been saying it over. Oh, it's the shooting. It's the shooting. He needs to be a better shooter. Well, guys, don't look now. But your man, RJ Bully Barrett, shooting is starting to turn a quarter, all right? Because not only did he hit 6 of 6 yesterday from the field, but he's also, if you look now, he's also trending in the right direction overall. Now, okay, I think I got this thing figured out right now. And we are going to, let's see. Right now he is shooting 38% from 3. 38% from 3. And even if you're looking at his stats right now, he's shooting 47% from the field overall. And his shooting has gone up exponentially since All-Star break. He's averaging 20 points, 3.1 assists at this point, while shooting 43% from 3 and 46% from the field since the All-Star break, and averaging 5.7 rebounds. And this is only like his 108th game, man. His 108th game. So with all the struggles that the Knicks are having, we can at least rest our minds knowing that RJ Barrett is still moving in the right direction. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. He is becoming that well-rounded player that I would say some, because there's also part of the fan base that thought he was a bust when he wasn't playing that well in summer league in 2019. We can pump the brakes now, okay? He's developing into a well-rounded player. The jump shot is coming along very nicely, shooting 38% from three, as you pointed out, JLS. That's what we wanted to see, especially at the beginning of the season for about 2 weeks straight. He was in the basement of shooting from the three, where it was just either three or drive to the basket. Now we're seeing that his game is more well-rounded. He's taking that time. He likes to do that snake dribble where he just gets the guy on the hip behind him and then attack. Yesterday, there was a good mid-range shot that he had in the fourth quarter to help bring us close to that lead. And then he had the game-tying three-pointer. He was on fire yesterday.
Absolutely.
He's becoming more confident, more patient in his shot selection. It's what you want to see from our young budding star. And look, the way that he's going right now, I wouldn't be surprised if he's an all-star in the next, honestly, 2 years. Like, if he keeps going in this direction, just doing a lot of great stuff so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you know, let's take it to this game now, all right? Because our starters, when the game started yesterday, our starters kind of struggled. They struggled a little bit. We actually ended the first quarter in a bit of a deficit. And it took our second unit to really kind of start to dig us out the hole and bring us and give us the lead. But it's interesting because when you started to look at the numbers at halftime, RJ had 16 points by himself at the half, while the rest of the Knicks was an abysmal. They shot like 11 for 31. So and also RJ, he only missed like one shot and a half. So for me, I'm looking at Julius Randle's struggle. I'm looking at our starter struggle. I'm looking at Elfrid Payton playing like absolute trash. And I'm going, all right, there's a few things that has to happen right now. And one of them is, of course, looking at our point guard situation and deciding, is this man still eligible to start? And two, finding the way to get the ball more into RJ Barrett's hands and getting him more shots. Because if he's hitting it at this high a clip, especially since All-Star break, I think we kind of have to pay attention to that and realize, okay, this is a steady force. This is somebody we can rely on. Let's use him as a number 2 option. Maybe we can use him even more as a 1A since Julius has been struggling a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we should have been going to RJ a lot more yesterday because he clearly had the hot hand. Julius didn't have it going in the first quarter, or really even the first half, and no one else did either. I mean, we saw Nerlens Noel was struggling, Reggie Bullock was struggling. We don't even need to talk about our starting point guard, who was just
we talking about starting point guard. That's happening. We want to talk about the starting.
Oh man,
we talking about
I really don't want to, because it was really bad in the first half. And it was just, especially when he dribbled off his foot to go out of bounds. That was just, if you want to talk about the cherry on top, like, geez.
Yeah.
But second unit comes in, brings us back into this game. You have Taj Gibson playing some solid minutes, setting the screens.
Unsung hero.
The unsung hero is right, JLS. He's setting the screens. He's grabbing boards, even though we had a tough time on the glass last night, especially on the defensive glass.
Yeah.
He's doing everything that you wanted. Quickley was helping distribute the ball really well. He had some glimmer of Obi Toppin. He had that slam dunk from his fellow rookie IQ.
Yeah.
Burks was doing okay in the first half. Derrick Rose was doing okay in the first half. You saw the ball movement. They got us back into the game, and it's real. Honestly, it wasn't saying much because the Celtics weren't playing that well either. We did enough to get back into the game. You know what I mean? It wasn't anything substantial as we've seen the second unit do in previous games, like the first Miami outing or any other game that we saw, even when against the Washington Wizards. But it was enough to get us back into the game.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't enough to get us back into the game. But I think we have to kind of examine that. We have to examine, and I've said this before. I said it's a game for people who's watching this show before. We all felt nice. We felt great when Reggie Bullock and Julius Randle was talking to the cameras And there was like they were talking and they were saying, listen, we know the Nets have a big 3, but we have a big 15, right? But our coach also has to realize that there is a big 15 as well, and we can't just keep relying on our starters to carry us over to the promised land and get these wins, especially when it comes to the second half of the season. We're going to have to at some point rely on the second unit to do some more of this work. Now we already seen in the second half, right? Tom is seeing it himself now. He's starting to see it. The second half, Peyton was playing terrible. First half, Peyton was playing terrible. Second half, he rode Derrick Rose as the point guard as long as he felt like he could. Like, he was not taking him out. Derrick Rose is playing with that second unit, and usually what happens is they'll do the transference. They'll sub in Randall, they'll sub in, Noel and the rest of those guys, and he kept Derrick Rose in as long as he possibly could. And
yeah.
And that's the way you want to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I that's what we should get to see. I mean, the thing is that Derrick Rose has that minute cap, right? He got 27 minutes last night. Peyton got 21. The one who really should have gotten more minutes, even though, it's questionable for the matchup against Marcus Smart, was Emmanuel Quickley.
Yeah.
But honestly, I would take quick shooting over than what Peyton gave. I mean, I know Peyton gave us 2 3-pointers, which was just
you gotta give him his props. You gotta give
it happened.
It happened. I don't think they drew it up that way.
I don't think so either, but it happened. I mean, I'll tell you this: during when they came back out during during the half, game ready for the second half, Peyton was putting up some 3-pointers, getting ready. So, and they were going in. I was like, okay, are you going to actually shoot a 3? And I was sitting next to some Knicks fans. He hit the 3-pointer, and fans were just like, oh no,
that's exactly what I was like. No, I was like, oh no, yeah, okay, yes,
yeah. But no, you want to see Derrick Rose get most of the minutes. I've been asking for Derrick Rose to get most of the minutes. I've been asking for Derrick Rose to start, really, because we saw what happened when Peyton was out. The offense just moves a lot better. I mean, you have the stats showing that whether it's RJ, Julius, and Rose, or it's RJ, Julius, and Quickley, the offense is just that much smoother. And it makes sense. You get somebody who can actually shoot and create space. And also it's for D Rose, he attacks the lane, which is what Tibbs wants. So it makes sense why he would start if he wants to start him. Unfortunately, he had COVID, so it really just threw everything off guard. And coming back from COVID, it's difficult, especially for conditioning wise. But Tibbs is not. Tibbs sees what we're seeing.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
He wants to get Derrick Rose out there. I think he's working his way back up. Unfortunately, COVID and also Derrick Rose is just like legit minute cap. It's just hard for him to be on the floor because, as we talked about the last time, earlier this week.
Exactly. And right now,
after 25, 27 minutes, it's just there's nothing else.
Yeah, it's just complete. It's just complete letdown. And you can't see. You might not be able to see right now, but I have the cleaning the glass stats. And shout out to Sweeney who even posted this on Twitter in the first place. But you see the cleaning the glass stats with the 4-man lineups, and who do you see? Who's been working best in these 4-man lineups? All right, with the points per possession. IQ, Bullock, RJ, Randle, and Noel, or D Rose, Bullock, Barrett, Randle, and Noel. All right, points per possession in the 62 and 57 percentile. The only ones in that yellow upper tier percentile on our team. All right. So that it's in the numbers for your Peyton haters, or for your Peyton pretenders who feel like no, it's in the numbers, man. It's in the numbers, and it's even in the eye test, because even when Derrick Rose got into the game in that first half, and I'm saying he should get the ball more. Peyton comes out the game. He's been fumbling and bumbling, as Ty would say, falling over the place. Derrick Rose comes in the game, and what does he do? He comes in the game automatically, sees RJ open in the corner, athlete penetrates, and kicks it out for a 3. And the same thing happened in the later quarters too. Like he recognizes more of the hot hand. He's more of a distributor. So even if it's not Quickly, we need to go Rose or. I said Burks last game, but Burks made me look crazy yesterday. Burks made me look crazy yesterday. Man.
Burks was just awful. The second half was just hard to watch, man.
Bruh.
My goodness.
Oof, and I'm a
2
Burks
for
guy.
9,
Ugh.
2 for 7 from
Ugh.
3.
Ugh.
You know, he came out with I don't know how he ended with +2, but he ended with a +2. So he had 8 points. I mean, I guess it's because he went to the line, hit both of his shots, and like he was playing okay defense, but especially the last plays of the game, I didn't understand why he took an off-balance 3-pointer with a lot of time back in the clock. He could have just swung the ball around.
Yeah.
This is where, you know, this is where you need like a point guard who knows who to get it to and not take their own shot. This is where we were talking about when Raw was on the show too. You know, how does Quick and Burks play together? They're both looking for their own shot.
Yeah, they both look for their own shot.
That is what they do. They're not like, as of right now, especially for, they're both just like not looking, like Quickly can look for guys. He's definitely better than Burks at looking for people. I would definitely say that. And that's true if you watch the game.
But you know what it is though? Like Burks has had success.
He has
pulling that same move off. Like he's been the hero pulling that same move off for 2 or 3 games in a row. So he feels like he can do it again. And sometimes when the wrong play gives you success, it kind of reestablishes, you know,
bad habits.
Yeah, bad habits. You know what I'm saying? It's like I got it. So even though like the correct play was hit the man that was hot, he just went 6 for 6 for the day from 3. That's all. All right. Even if that might have been the correct play, he still kind of, you know, he deferred to his usual move. That's been work. He hit. I've seen him do that same move 2 games ago and won the game for us, or almost win the game for us.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like he has pulled that move off, right? I'm not saying that he can't pull that move off, but when you're having a point guard in that situation where it's the 4th quarter, you got 35 plus seconds left in the game, you don't take after that shot, you know, you may have 1-2 more possessions to go. Use the clock. You're not down that much. Use the clock, get a better shot. You know what I mean? Before that, you had RJ who lost trying to bring the ball up, which was, you know, I'm not going to nitpick because RJ had a great game overall. He kept us in that game. So I'm not going to get on him for that. And honestly, he should have had that ball in the situation. And they gave it to him in that situation, but he lost it. Burks, you know, this is where we talk about needing a point guard, a facilitator on the team, because in that situation, you also have to know who has the hot hand, who has been hitting the shots all game long. Burks, you have not been hitting the shot all game long.
Yeah. It's basic.
But RJ Barrett has, so give it to the sniper. You know, give it to the guy give it to the guy who's been hitting everything. And then when he comes back down for the last shot and just puts up this whack, I don't even know what it was.
Bruh.
Like a floater, jump mid-range. I have no idea. It got blocked. I was like, what was that?
Yeah, whose man's is this? That's what it was at that point. It was the whose man's is this morning.
Yeah, no, seriously, it was. And that's, at that point, you know.
Yeah.
All she wrote.
Salute to the chat. Let me pause right there. Salute to the chat, all right? Shout out to hit. Yo, I see some people's in the chat today. I see you guys. All right, so I'm gonna give you some shout outs real quick. Hold on. Yo, shout out. So hold on. First of all, shout out to Andrew Coladiges, right? Because I might have butchered your name. I'm sorry, but I know this guy's been listening to KOT for like 3 years. So shout out to you. 3 to 4 years. Shout out to you. All right. But also for the guys who want to talk to us right now, because we can go live. We can take calls live right now. We're going through Discord. All right. So if you want to go through the Discord chat, there's a link right there that Fritz is putting in the chat. And there should be a link pinned at the top. Or maybe I could just pin that link that Fritz just put in the chat as well. And we can send you through the channels and talk to you directly if you have any live questions, comments, etc. All right, any live questions, comments, etc. You want to vent, you want to talk about these Knicks, or you just want to say what's up, come through, say what's up, and yeah, talk to us at the KOT show. All right, but before we get into that, shout out to everybody in the chat. All right, shout out to Vaskin Markerin. Shout out to my boy Nuggy Fresh in the building, man. Shout out to you, bro. You caught a live, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to Vaskin Markin. Shout out to Sammy Soso. Shout out to Sherwin M. He comments He is the last. I salute you, man. The last Elfrid Payton defender. All right. The
How about
last
that?
Elfrid Payton defender. Stay to your guns. Don't let nobody knock you off your square, bro. Even though you know, I've had it with Payton, but he needs somebody. So stay true. All right. Shout out to Anthony 212. Shout out to John Talento. Shout out to Mikey, who's always writing. Shout out to Illa, the #1 RJ fan in the building. Shout out to Ari. Shout out to my guy Ari too. I saw you in the chat. And shout out to Grizzlies Castillo. Says Discord gang. All right. Like I said, if you want to talk, shout out to my friend in real life too, Roddy Sannon out there in Canarsie. And if you have any questions or comments, all you have to do is get in that Discord link that the mod Fritz is sending in the chat, and you can talk to us live. It's a KOT show, all right. Now, Sharon says I'm not an IQ supporter. Hey, salute to my cousin. Salute to cousin Winston, man. My fake cousin, but he's my real cousin, kind of Winston Ellis. All right, shout out to you. All right, man. So Alex, man, we have been we've been losing a lot lately.
Yeah.
And I know that we've had some tough games. And I know some of these have gone down to the wire. But I feel like something might be wrong with Julius.
You know, he doesn't have that same pop when you watch him play. There's that he's missing that same type of electric energy that he has been. He's also kind of been putting it like he's forcing a few more shots. I feel like he's just not in rhythm. And, you know, it's common for players to get out of rhythm. I don't know if it's the injury from the thigh contusion,
right, or
if it's just like a stretch of, because players go through this.
Absolutely.
Where you're just not in rhythm whatsoever. And he may be going through that stretch. I don't know. It's something. It is definitely something along those lines, and you can see it in the 3-point percentage, where his dropped from 40% up until he got injured. Right. It was around 41% when he got injured, and then since the injury, after that Bucks game that he missed, he's come back. He's only been shooting 32.5%. So he's not spacing the floor as he once was. Mm-hmm. So it might have to be doing something like just figuring out the rhythm. It could be. It's a long season. He's been playing a lot of minutes too. And I say when he plays a lot of minutes, you know, like we said earlier, you know, or I should say earlier this week to be specific, Tibbs also isn't practicing and working them as hard. So I don't know what it is. It could be the effects of a condensed season. There's a lot of factors that go into this, just not a lot of certainty. And we're not going to get that answer. What is affecting Randle? He's just going to give us that same answer of, you know, I got to be better. I got to play harder. I got to play smarter. So we won't really know.
I don't know. I just wonder if it is the injury. I wonder because, listen, he's still kind of playing the same style. Like he's still rebounding the ball. He's still passing it pretty well. Mm-hmm. It's just really the shooting and the 3-point shooting is that stretch skill that's kind of opened everything else up for us. And that shooting, especially in the clutch, has gone down. Like I've seen him I don't know, man. Like, and I think even Han kind of pointed out first, and which was kind of put it on the radar. But I feel like before that he was getting better at shooting in the clutch. And then even now, like watching him, I feel like he's kind of limping a lot. So, yeah, there is a slight limp to like I don't know, man. It's really hard. It looks like when I say he doesn't play with that same pop, like he's shown bursts of speed, but he's not. You know, prior to the injury, he was pushing pace a lot. Like he was trying to get up and not necessarily transition, like get a lot of transition points, but he was definitely pushing the ball right. Like a lot faster than usual. Now it's kind of, you know, we see Peyton bringing it up. You know, they had that. I'm not gonna go there. The half court violation. Jesus. But you know, like you see Payton's bringing up the ball. They're switching it on and off. You see something's wrong. We just don't know what the issue is. You know, it could be the injury. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the injury. Right. I think it takes a little longer to get from like a thigh contusion. He did get hit pretty hard. He took a game off. Maybe he needed a little bit more time, and he's playing on it. You got to rest those type of things. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like he's been the only thing he's really been able to get off has been the fast breaks. The jump shot is gone, is what I'm saying. Like, and I've said it the last few games too, man. And to me, that takes the most energy out of him when he's actually do the rebound plus defend plus run the fast break. I feel like it's a little bit too much for him. You know what I mean? But the only time I've really seen this team have success, at least especially the last two games, it seems like the third quarter, especially. He's been making it a point to push the ball in the third quarter, and that's when we start to get in those leads. Even yesterday, he got a 13-point third quarter, mostly off of fast breaks. And so we're gonna need somebody to step up, especially with these games coming kind of fast. And hopefully, it'll be nice if you get some more minutes rested, and our bench could produce more, or even when the bench is producing, to leave them in the game.
Yeah, no, like I wish Tibbs would rely on his bench a little bit more than he has been. I mean, Quickley getting only 13 minutes, Toppin getting only 11 minutes. That's too little, in my opinion. Like, I get it's funny when we say there's a 9-man rotation. It's really now like really 8. Like,
yeah, it's a fake.
You know what I mean? Like
9. It's technically
like
9. Not
like
really.
9.2, like
8.1.
Yeah, like shout out to my co-host and my bud John on the pod. He says Tibbs likes an 8-man rotation. And, we know at the beginning it's like 9.5, 10 guys based on the amount of minutes. But really, when you look at Toppin, you look at Quickley, like until Quickley starts getting more minutes. I know when Quickley gets back to getting up to 19, 20 minutes, there's 9 guys again. But when you're starting to see 11 and 13 minutes, you're not giving I think they're not getting enough playing time to see what we got in both of those guys. And I know what the other side of the argument especially for Quickley. Quickley, you could say, hey, he's a 3-point specialist and he's got his floater. He doesn't facilitate as well as maybe Derrick Rose.
Right.
So when he's out on the court by himself, you can only really use him for a few things, and people have adapted to his game and they can stop him more.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. And then that's where a lot of people ask, like, to stagger the minutes and to have him play with the first unit, because if you have RJ Barrett and Julius Randle creating shots, you get to utilize his 3-point shooting because he's going to be open.
Exactly.
If they're going to be guarding him, both those guys going to the paint where they like to operate.
Exactly. And he's had success. He's had some more success. Like, even there was a play where RJ drove to the hole and he was able to kick it out, and Randle was kind of just able to camp and stay in that corner 3. I think that was the first time he even scored in that entire game. Like, more situations like that where he's kind of just not having to carry the entire load offensively would be more ideal, so he can be saved, be rested. And I see, shout out to True Knicks fan. He seems to take some. He seems to have an opposite view. If you have any beef with anything we're saying, you are fully. You can definitely hit that Discord link, talk to us about it, and express your views, and we could debate about it right here on this show. Link is coming right there in the chat. Shout out to Fritz. He's gonna put that link in the chat for you if you have any trepidation about anything we're saying. Let's go. Talk about it, debate it out. I'm for it. Big facts, all right? Shout out to Will from LI in the chat, man. I see you over there, man. Good to see you over here. Shout out to Nuggy Fresh. He says, do y'all think Tibbs is the Knicks coach of the future?
Oh, I mean, he's the coach right now, and honestly, like, that's so hard to answer, because there's 10 years of coaches who can go on for a long time, and there's also coaches who just help for a development process and you move on to somebody else. Some think of Tibbs as like, maybe like, to use in comparison, Kenny Atkinson or Mark Jackson, for whether it's Kenny Atkinson for the Brooklyn Nets or Mark Jackson for the Golden State Warriors. You have a coach who's been there for like 3-4 years, who establishes a culture, establishes that winning culture, an environment that creates success. And then there's a cap, because you can only listen to that voice for so long as a player. And then you move on to the next guy who takes you over that, not only like that playoff hump, but takes you into that championship contending type stratosphere. So I can't answer that right now. It's way too early. Yeah. Honestly, the speed of how the Knicks are playing right now we've accelerated the rebuild, because we're a competitive team right now in playoff talks, in a playoff race, trying to be in the playoffs, whether it's even just the play-in tournament. Right. So it's kind of hard. It's way too early to get a read on that. You'd know by fourth year.
I'm hoping that this is the first Knicks coach to kind of break that curse. And, because we've only had coaches here for about 2 years. 2 years and then they're gone. But at this point, it seems like this coach really has the team. And this is different from when Fizz was here, when he had the team. Because right now he has a team and we're kind of winning. We're winning-ish.
Mm-hmm.
So you just hope that continues. Now, Tibbs does have that reputation of wearing guys down. And when you're watching this team live, you can kind of see where that reputation comes from. You know what I mean? Like, we're kind of watching it live. But at the same time, you're hoping that the longer some of these younger guys are on the team, that the more that he'll be able to trust them. Because I do feel like with Tibbs, the longer guys are with him, the more he trusts them. And you can see that when he was with the Bulls. There was like guys like Jimmy, he wasn't playing much, and then a few years later, all of a sudden he's playing more minutes. So that could be the same thing for our guys, right? The guys like Toppin, Quickley, who's getting spot minutes right now. They can probably kind of turn on later. And maybe next year he'll be trusting to give them more minutes. If Obi's here, maybe he'll trust Obi to take over for a 15-minute span.
Yeah,
15 to 20 minutes. Move him to experiment the lineups if he's playing well. Sorry, I know it sounds like you want to say something.
No, I agree with you, JLS. And I think 15, 20 minutes is like somewhere in that range where we want to see Obi. Mm-hmm. And hopefully by the second season, he is in that range. Tibbs is part of that coaching tree, Jeff Van Gundy, where they just don't play rookies that much. And, we even see with, I can't think of the head coach's right name down in Orlando. Like he's playing them in Orlando out of necessity at this point,
Right.
Injuries, like Cole Anthony was not starting. He was coming off the bench. And then once Markelle Fultz got injured, he became the de facto point guard. And now since they mortgaged everything, they're playing rookies. So he's part of that tree that, isn't going to rely heavily on rookies. He's trying to create a winning environment for them. He's trying to put them in situations to succeed. That way they have something to work off of. It's better to work off something where you're doing something right and being positive than just constantly losing and failing every single day.
Right.
So that's what he's trying to look for.
Yes,
that's what he's trying to
he's
get
looking
these
for
guys
signs.
going.
He's looking for signs. But sometimes I just wish that, when the guys are rolling, he lets them roll. Because at this point in the season, when guys are getting tired or you see that people are winded, because we see when Randle's winning, he starts doing the turnovers and the shots are shorter, then you start to plug these guys in and let them play for their longer amount of time than they used to playing, all right? And you know what? Me shout out to some people in the chat. I see people, yo, Jay Ellis, shout me out. Shout out to you, Joey. He said, what happened with UNCP? It was time, man. It was just time. I had to concentrate on the show. We got no beef. There's no beef. So wish those guys look over there. Bullying KOT over here. And that's it. But shout out to those guys. And shout out to all the content creators out here in Knicks Nation. All right. Shout out to Frederick. I see you. D Nice. Andrew. Junior Karoma. Anthony 212. Telem Alejandro. Gregory Castillo. Nuggy Fresh. Shout out to you as well. Sherwin. Shout out to you as well. And everybody who else is rocking with the KOT show. All right. I see a caller in the chat. And yeah. First caller of the night is not Talia. It's not Telem Alejandro tonight. But before he gets, I'm gonna give him gunshots for the caller, man. Gunshots for the caller in the chat. Shout out to you, man. People. Somebody asked for the gunshots. Somebody asked. I had to oblige. All right.
Gotta do it.
I had to do it. I had to do it. So I'm gonna just wait for the caller to set up. Here's what's going on, caller. You probably can hear me right now. Make sure when you hit that KOT live button, you also hit that watch stream button as well, so you can hear Alex and me at the same time. All right, caller, if you can hear me. All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on, Jay Ellis?
What's going on, man? Is this Will?
Will from LI. What's
what up, Will? Let's go, Will.
Yeah, we in here.
Yeah, we in here, man.
Listen, man, I need to ask you I gotta ask you a question, man.
What up?
Listen, with the way this season's going, you already know how I'm thinking. But all right, I don't want to start a riot in the chat, so I'm not gonna talk about that.
Let's riot. We got the gunshots. Let's riot. Let's go. All right. I'm sorry.
All
We got
right,
the
so
topics.
this is what I'm thinking, right?
All
This
right.
is all around Bradley Beal. Okay. Next season, I believe that Bradley Beal is not requesting a trade now because he wants a lot of leverage in deciding where he wants to go. So I believe next season he's going to request a trade.
Okay.
On his list, I hope that we're on it, right? Because this is the whole idea. We want to be good to show free agents that this is a destination, right?
Mhm.
Still don't know why we're doing this when we have one of the best drafts in the last 10 years, but I digress, right?
Right.
Now, so Bradley Beal wants to come to the Knicks. Well, we're one of his lists, right? Obviously, you got to pay to play. Our strongest assets, I believe, are Mitch, Randle, and RJ.
Right.
Would you do a trade for Bradley Beal by giving up Randle? That's the question.
No.
Oh, you see, why? Why? Can you please tell me why?
Why? Because at this point, the idea is to pair with Randall at this point. For me, the idea is to pair. Like, Randall is 26 years old. He's carrying the team right now. We already have an RJ Barrett. So I feel like you want to keep those three together. I feel like that's the plan at this point.
I understand that, but you're gonna have to either you have to give up RJ or you can give up Randall. I feel like it's a fair switch, all-star for all-star. Obviously, Bradley Beal is better than Randall, but if that's what's gonna take to make the deal work, I do it. That's just me.
I mean, what's Bradley Beal doing with Washington right now? What place are they in? Is that 1-for-1 swap going to get us over the hump? If he's not doing it over there with Washington, why would it work over here?
I mean, it's either that or you throw in a whole bunch of picks, like a whole bunch of our firsts, which I don't feel comfortable doing. I would rather give up Randall and then maybe one first, or and try to get that going. But I'm not about to be throwing them like 5 firsts, like Brooklyn did and all that other stuff. I don't know. That's like a Hail Mary. And Bradley Beal, Julius Randle, and RJ Barrett. Yeah, that's a playoff team.
Hell yeah, that's a playoff team.
Yeah, but that's not getting us over the hump. I don't feel like. I don't know.
Here's my thing, man. If we end up, first of all, a competent point guard is going to help us tremendously, because you already see what happens when Derrick Rose is in the lineup versus Elfrid Payton, right? So you think, all right, cool. First move would be to get Alonzo Ball, hopefully. Now, if you're doing Alonzo Ball and then you packaging your picks, like, here's my thing. Tom is not going to play all these picks, man.
That's what my biggest issue with Tom Thibodeau, because I really feel like Obi Toppin should be getting more minutes. So I understand that. But at the same time, I feel like I don't want to throw 4 or 5 draft picks for Bradley Beal, and then that's just setting up the team. I would rather Bradley Beal, RJ, and another player. I
wouldn't do a 4 or 5 draft picks either, to be honest with you. I wouldn't do 4 or 5 draft picks. I would do 2. I would do 2. Yeah, I would do 2 picks and maybe a young player. And that's how I would try to move.
If they take Kevin Knox, Frank, or somebody for that, hey, I'll do it all day. But I think it's gonna cost. I think we're gonna need more to get that deal done.
We might need more for something. You're right. You might need more. But
we'll see what happens.
I would try to do.
Coming by, I'm riding it out. Even though I kind of listen. I don't like losing, but when I see Cade, when I see Kuminga, and when I see Suggs, I don't know. It don't feel as bad.
I understand, but we kind of. I get it, man. We so far along, man. We're so far along at this point. Unless we just do some crazy nosedive where we're in the lottery, I don't see us getting that. So it almost feels like a mute point at this point to be trying to fade for Cade. You know what I mean? Like,
I understand. definitely, but still, it's just. I don't know. If we would have done this next year, I'm all for it. But I really feel like you need 2 good young pieces. Everybody loves RJ Barrett. I love RJ, right? You love RJ, right?
Right.
We got RJ by tanking. That's how we got it, okay? That's the God honest truth. So,
But trust the
listen, man, I'm gonna let
process.
you go. Great to hear from you, Jay. I'll be over here in the chat. All right.
All right, yo, salute to you, Will, man. That's my guy. That's my guy, Will from
man.
LI, man. That's my guy, Will from LI, man. Shout out to you, man. If anybody else wants to talk, chat with us in the chat, man. There's a Discord link going around. You can send that Discord link. Fritz, did I pin it? Did I forget to pin it? Sorry, guys. Yeah. There is a Discord link going around. I'm gonna pin it to the top. That's my bad, guys. I didn't pin the Discord link. The Discord link is now pinned to the top of the chat. All right. If you want to talk to us, all you gotta do is click that link at the top of the chat. Follow the little instructions. You'll be seeing Fritz in there. You see, shout out to Fritz. You'll see Fritz in there. He's gonna talk through it, and then once you're in there, we'll bring you into the live room and we'll talk Knicks. All right. All right. Oh man, yo, shout out to you guys, man. All right, cool. So, you know what? Let's talk about something else, man. The closing, and shout out to Make sure you go to the nickoftimeshow.com. Definitely do that because the writers are dope. I'm just saying, I like the writers do good work. So shout out to Mikey, shout out to Fritz, shout out to Rob, shout out to all these guys. And Mikey, he just wrote an article. He kind of just wrote an article about this very topic, like the Knicks, they're trying to learn to win, and they have these young pieces who are going through growing pains right now. But the interesting part of the article that I kind of want to focus on too, that we're kind of missing, is Emmanuel Quickley, man. Emmanuel Quickley has been slumping, and it's funny because yesterday he had signs of life, and this is why him not playing yesterday kind of pissed me off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But he's been slumping. He seems like he's hitting that rookie wall. And it says, shout out to Ariel. He says, in Emmanuel Quickley's last 10 games, not including tonight, he's shooting just 4 of 20 from the paint. The floater is not hitting anymore. The floater has floated on.
Yeah, and that's been the issue when you play him, is because there's limited things he can do, right? And it's nothing against him. He's a rookie, so it's the same thing with Obi Toppin. When you watch Obi Toppin, there's limited things that he can do. Same thing with RJ last year, limited things that he could do. You watch even John Morant. He's not a really great 3-point shooter. He's really good at attacking the rim, facilitating. The thing is that, some of these guys, they look better based on the system that they're in, because their attributes are, highlighted better. When you watch John Morant and he's surrounded by guys who can shoot, he doesn't need to be a 3-point shooter. He can go attack the rim, be energetic, be that ball of lightning that he is. And that's why he looks better there. If you put him into a situation like this and we don't have enough shooters, granted, we have better shooters this season than we did last season. Imagine if it was like last season where we didn't have a lot of great shooters. You might not be seeing all the same things that we're seeing from John Morant right now.
Exactly.
Still, it'd be great to have him.
Exactly.
But it's highlighted more, right? It's like we're watching Zion play better this season. Granted, Zion's playing on a whole other level. For some players, it just takes time. And, there's just limited aspects to their game. I have faith Emmanuel Quickley will go into the offseason and improve on those skills, just like RJ did. He seems like another guy who just wants to work. You hear from Tibbs and all the other coaches that these young guys just want to work, whether it's Obi, RJ, Quickley, even Randle, who's a vet. They all want to work and get better. So no doubt about that.
Absolutely. I'm dying at these comments, yo. Gregory Castillo, Quickley's floater died for our sins. You're funny. All right. Like, it was just Easter, so hey, hopefully it'll rise again. All right. So salute to you. Sleep to that IQ's floater. All right. Shout out to tell him Alejandro says rip to IQ's floater. Anthony 212 says give IQ the keys. Winston Ellis says IQ says shot is it. Yo guys are funny tonight. All right. So, okay, next in the chat, I think we have Joey in the chat. I know I saw Joey. He was in chat earlier. He seems like he got the smoke. So he might come with the smoke today, all right? We'll see what he says. All right. All right. All right, so I'm bringing Joey in the chat. All right, shout out to you, Joey. You're now in the live room. Hit that KOT live button, and also hit that watch button, that watch stream button, so you can hear me and Alex at the same time. All right.
Yo, what's up, Jay Ellis?
What's going on, man?
How we doing, man? It's been weird not seeing you on the Knick Fans TV show, man. I've been seeing Jay Ellis with the CK2K guy. I'm like, come on, we got to get Jay Ellis back in here, man. It's not the same without him.
I feel you, man. I appreciate the love. Yeah, it's weird. It's an adjustment period. I get it.
It's just the nostalgia, bro. Like, you know, I was watching that. You remember the year when we went 17 and 65?
Yeah.
Do you remember that year?
Yeah.
And I remember watching those games, man. We had so many games that were close. Like, we lost by, like, 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I'm just bringing this up, man, because, like, I remember, like, just, like, all these games where we're so close. And now it's, like, starting to feel like that again now. Because we're having these games where we're losing by, like, 2 points, 3 points.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, man, we could win these. But what's going on, guys? We got to, you know.
Nah, I feel you.
Make the adjustment. We got to make the adjustment, you know.
Yeah, I feel you. It's growing pains, though. I think the difference between then and now, though, is I know that RJ is going to be a long-term guy here, right? And it seems like Randle might be, too. So, like, we should be able to actually build on these wins from year to year instead of just having it be meaningless 2-point losses when we're just getting rid of guys in a year or two. You know, that's the hope, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's funny that you brought up RJ because I actually had a question about RJ.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think RJ is going to be like what's the word? Like, not like our captain, but like, do you see him like overpassing Julius Randle as like our main scorer? Because like, it seems like he's just getting better and better, man. Like, and like, I kind of just see Julius Randle as of late just not playing like 100%. I don't know what it is with, maybe it's starting to get to him with like this playoff push, or maybe he's running out of gas, but it just seems like RJ's like making huge strides.
Yeah, I can't really answer that, man. I hope so. It'll be nice to, because I think for us to compete, you need more of a guard to take over, to go along with your power forward. And you know the reason why you're getting away with it now is because Julius Randle is kind of giving us guard-like skills at this point. You know?
Well, let me ask you this. I know last season was his first season that he's played in the NBA, and this would be considered his second season. Mm-hmm. But to me, as a fan, like, you have to play a whole season to really get your legs going and to really become an NBA player. To me, I don't know if you feel the same way, but this is RJ's first real season in the NBA, if you ask me.
Yeah. No, it is.
I mean, I don't know, just the way that I'm watching him play, he just looks like he's NBA ready. Just the way that he, like, when he makes baskets, he's like, whoa, and like, you know what I mean? He's flexing at the cameras and stuff. Like, that's, to me, is like someone that is competing. Like, I preach this a lot to people when I talk about basketball. I say, like, the NBA is a competition, man. Like, anybody can beat anybody on any given night. And if you're there to compete and you're there to beat the other team, you know, good things happen. But like we saw the other night against I think it was the Timberwolves. Mm-hmm. We didn't show up, and we end up losing that game.
Yeah.
Because we didn't compete.
Yeah, we expected to win. That's what happens when you get too big for yourself, man. You expect to win,
exactly,
and then you just end up losing. We can't keep doing that, especially at this point. Right.
You can't count out the other team, man. Like I said, this is a professional league. This is the NBA. Like, I know people like to think, oh, this team sucks. Like, this team's good. But, like, at the end of the day, man, it's not really like that. Like, you got to compete to win. Absolutely. And if you're not competing, you're counting yourself out. And we're in this spot right now where we can't take any team lightly, even like the Timberwolves or, you know, the Pistons or
exactly.
The Wizards.
We're not good enough. You got good enough right now to do that. Any other questions or comments or anything else?
No, my main question was just if you really feel like this is RJ's like legit first season instead of it being his second, and how that would affect his development. That was my main question.
Okay, that's what's up. Yo, salute to you. Yo, thank you for calling in. I thought you was gonna have some smoke. The way you was in the chat, you came over there, you was real nice and stuff. All right, salute to you though.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. But I think he has a good point. Like, it's Alex. This is his real kind of first season, really, especially when you consider that last year was a shortened season. You know what I mean? He just started getting rolling, and then I feel like the rug was kind of pulled out from under him. So he could have really finished the end of that season strong, and maybe some rest of the league would have seen him in a different light if he was able to finish that season strong, like he was going to. You know, like he was projecting to.
Yeah, absolutely. You would have John Hollinger not writing, pieces about, sorry for not having RJ as like an NBA All Rookie. I think yes, this is going to be RJ's first full season, even though it's 72 games, right? It's not the whole 82 games that he'd be used to, but it's still a full season to go. It's 10 more games. I think I could get that point where you could say, yeah, it wasn't truly RJ's first season. We saw him play well against Houston, and then the last game was against Atlanta. It was in March when it ended, so we had another month of basketball where he could have ended. He could have ended strong, had a nice
right
whole season. We could have seen what he could have done, whether his three-point shooting was starting to get better. His ability to finish around the rim was slowly, like marginally getting better. So maybe it could have been a better season for RJ, and given the rest of the NBA world, like, give him that ability to look at him in a different light. I mean, I think we're kind of parsing hairs, honestly.
Okay.
Whether or not this is.
It sounds like you're not feeling that much. It sounds like you don't agree that much.
No, I don't. I don't, because you still got 66 some odd games under your belt. Like,
right.
66 games is like no joke. That we're talking about 2/3 to 3/4 of a season underneath you, right? I mean, guys get injured too, like their rookie season. They play about 60 some odd games, so they consider that a full season. This is nothing like a Ben Simmons who missed the entire first year, then wins Rookie of the Year. And you're like, he's not really a rookie when you have a full NBA offseason. You're not coming from college. You're getting the workout plan, the meal plan. You're getting that whole environment. So I think RJ, I can get it, but I think this is just a good second season that he's having, more so than a true first full season, if that makes sense.
Okay. I get you. It could be 1A, but I can also see the argument the other way. That's a good argument.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Salute to the chat. First and foremost, chat, if you are new, welcome. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. All right. Also, if you're new, you just heard, you can talk to us, so you can hit that little Discord link and talk to us for a second and talk Knicks for us. Have a question ready and just talk Knicks. All right. But shout out to everybody in the chat. I've seen some people coming in. Shout out to Mama Said Don't Trust You, just because I just like that name. He says old head. Mama Said Don't Trust You. I love that. I love that name. So salute to you. Will from LI. Shout out to D Nice. Shout out to King Bernard 30, John Talento, Gregory Castillo, and anybody else see a hashtag? Did I see a hashtag? No, I don't think he's seen a hashtag yet. And shout out to Charmboy72 Able as well. Also, no super chats. Super chats are also welcome here as well. It helps grow the channel, helps pay the writers, and things of that nature. So super chats help grow the channel, and helps kind of keep things moving, because we got some stuff in store. All right, so shout out to you guys. Now I see somebody else in line. So shout out to this caller in line. I'm not sure who it is. I think it's AO. I think that's Pal. This is AO Pal. I feel like it's Pal. All right, you are in the shout out to you. You are in live right now with us. If you are live right now, let's make sure you hit that KOT live button, and make sure you hit that watch stream button so you can hear me and Alex. All right. Can you hear us, sir?
Yes, sir. I'm a big fan. Thanks for taking my call.
Okay, you sound like a robot. That sounds a little weird, but I'm not sure. Excuse me? Yeah, I'm not sure if this is manageable. I'm sorry, man. I don't know if the mic sounds kind of weird. I don't think anybody can really hear you. But I'll say a question, and I'll just take you off. It won't be a long conversation. What's your question? Are you there? All right, it seems like Ayo Power is either trying to fix his mic, or he's been abducted by the Decepticons. All right.
Yo, we gotta call the Autobots.
Yeah, man. We gotta call Prime and them.
And Bumblebee.
Yeah,
on,
call Bumblebee. Yeah, all of those guys
out there.
All of them help us, please. Get Ayo.
Iller got a question though. He threw one in the chat.
You threw one in?
So I'll read it. He said he asked, "What's my opinion on the CAA and the heavy influence they have on the Knicks organization?" So, my opinion is that I don't know. It's one season. It's really tough to get like a full-on read if they're that, ingrained with the CAA connection and Kentucky connection and all those other type of connections. I need to see next season. I think it's going to help play a major part in getting free agents to New York.
There you go.
Just because Leon Rose was the top dog, he was an agent for guys like LeBron James, Chris Paul, Dwayne Wade. And when you had that type of clientele, even with Joel Embiid, Devin Booker, all those guys, right, it carries some weight. And the fact that especially Devin Booker and Joel Embiid said that they felt like family. And even Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I just recently learned, Leon Rose is his godfather. So when you have connections like that, wait
a minute. Wait, say that again.
Helps a lot.
Let that breathe. Say that again.
Pretty sure I heard correctly that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's godfather is Leon Rose.
His godfather? Wait. That's his godfather though?
Yep.
This is shaping out, because you always see these Leon Rose gangster jokes, right? But now Leon Rose is the godfather. Come on.
Hey, man.
How gangster is that? Like, come on. All right.
So when you have connections like that, it's not a bad thing. I mean, nepotism is real. If it's strictly nepotism, I am very concerned, because that means you're just turning a blind eye to all talent. But it's only one season. There's familiarity with like Obi Toppin, who's a CAA client.
Right.
Understood why they took him. The Kentucky connection, you had Kenny Payne, and as we found out, Worldwide West was in love with him. And I'm sure that we wouldn't get a sign-off unless Walt Perrin was on board as well. So I'm not highly concerned. I mean, if we really want to take it to another level, everyone thought Michael Kidd-Gilchrist was going to knock out Iggy Brasdeikis. That didn't happen.
No.
So I don't think it's I mean, I know it's sad. It's sad. I love Iggy.
Yeah,
I hope Iggy gets a fair chance.
Shout out to Iggy, man. He just got cut from Philly, man. Shout out to you, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to you. I'm with you, Alex. I'm with you. More connections, the better. This kind of team is kind of built on connections. Scott Perry has connections. We have CAA connections with Leon Rose and these guys, and also Walt Perrin as well. So the more connections, the better, in my opinion, man. I'm with it. And also, I see the return if Ayo Powell is in here. I think they said I saw you Fritz say he fixed his mic, so we're gonna try this again. All right. Okay, Ayo Powell, you are now in the room. All right, you already know what to do. Hit that KLT live button, hit that watch stream button, or the little image of Alex in there, and you should see us and talk to us live. All right. Have you escaped from the Decepticon, sir?
Yeah, I thought I could try to make it work with my star tag, but it's okay. I'm back on 2021 right now.
All right, here we go.
Big fan. You already know.
There we go.
Here we go. Loud and clear.
Salute.
Yo,
Loud and clear.
Yeah, all right. Tell them what's your name. Where you from, sir?
I go by Ayo Powell. Y'all know me. I've been here for a minute, but if not, my name is Ayo Powell. Y'all can call me Powell. That's chill.
All right.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ayo Powell or Powell.
Oh.
Welcome to KLT
right.
show. All right. What's your question or comment, sir?
Thanks for having me.
No problem, man.
I mean, it's Thursday, so people are getting a lot of throwback feelings, man. I just want you to remind the community and the fan base of the past 3 or 4 seasons, and just because we lost a couple of games, tough games, I might add, that we are at a better place than we have been now for the past 20 years. It's mad funny because I was talking to some people in the community, and a lot of them are like, in their early 20s, and I'm like, if they're in their early 20s, that means when they were 10 years old, that was their insanity. That was their Ewing.
That
era.
was the height. Yeah, that was the height.
To them.
They missed all the rest of the struggle. Yeah.
The whole 2000s, the Isaiah, Isaiah and Starberry saved the East, but
right.
Yeah.
The bad trade. Yeah, you missed all of that stuff. You missed
Remind them,
McDice.
remind them,
You missed all the
Alex.
McDice stuff when we traded everybody for McDice and McDice got injured. You missed all that.
Jeez.
Y'all miss Sweetney. You missed the Sweetney era. Y'all missed
Eddie
a lot.
Curry.
Eddie Curry.
Eddie Curry. That's all you got to say.
Remember when
Eddie Curry
Boston ran
and
it up on
Zebo.
us in 07? Wasn't it 07 when Boston ran it up on us? It was like 119 to like 54, and
Oh
like
man.
the highest score that night was Robinson with 11 points.
Yeah,
Nate.
Nate. I mean, Boston has been a thorn in our thigh for years, man. I've hated that team for so much, and I dated a girl who was a Boston fan, and thank God I got out of that relationship. All right, that's a bruh for me. All right,
Man.
Oh man.
but I'm gonna stick to the positive and remind you guys. Listen, we're in a way better place right now. and
Way better.
Definitely check out Nick Time Show article by Mikey, the new one that's out. All right, and it kind of puts you in that mindset that look, listen, we have cap space, we have picks. We have a second-year guy who's looked like he's gonna be a budding all-star. We have a guy named Julius Randle, who is 26 and he's just starting to reach his potential right now. And we have competent front office players, it seems, for the first time. Now this is gonna be their real test is coming up, but we're set up pretty nicely, man. So despite all the losing, we're still in the playoff hunt. We're still in the play-in hunt, and it's not that bad. When you step back in the moment, when you're thinking about Jeff Hornacek getting punched by Joe Keatonova,
Oh my God.
it's
It
not
is-
that
it is-
bad. When you
it
think
is
about the
not
Derek
that bad.
Fisher chance in the
Stop. Just stop right there.
It's
You
not
just
that
stop right
bad. It's not that bad. It's all I'm saying.
there. You stop right
Remember
there. I
when
don't need to hear
Rambis
that.
was in here for a minute?
Rand Rambis was the
Oh
head
my
coach, and he was trying to
God.
play KP at small forward.
Bruh.
It was not. It's not
And y'all are complaining
yeah,
about
man.
Alfred Payton.
Ellis says, Jay Ellis, I'll hook you up with the Canadian girl. Oh, man. As long as she's a Knicks fan, Eller. As long as she's a Knicks fan. All right. Oh, man. Salute to you.
goodness.
Salute to you, hey, Paolo. I feel like that's all you have. Is that all you have to say? Thanks for bringing us down memory lane, man. I appreciate it.
No, I just wanted to talk about that because I'm just like, yo, we just lost a couple of few games. Like y'all forgot like how gritty this team has been since the start of the season, and after 21 missed threes, RJ stayed poker face the whole ride. That's something I wish I saw in Kevin. I wish Kevin just had a sprinkle of that moxie, that heart. That yo, okay, I'm bricking right now, but that's okay. You're not gonna see it in my face though.
I feel yeah. No, you're right. You guys are right about that, man. You're absolutely right about that. It could be way worse for sure. But yo,
But
Absolutely.
yeah, man, big fan, man. Stay the course, man. Stay the course, Knick fans. Like we've been through worse. And we have been in the best place that we have been in years. Come on, man. You know what I mean? It's just a couple of lost games. We're gonna get better by next season. RJ is gonna be 21 years old. Wow.
yeah, man.
Imagine if this is RJ at 20 years old now. He's still, you know, he's not that strong enough to like bully past people. But once he gets strong enough to bully people in the paint, that left-handed layup is gonna make it in. I swear to you.
He's already bullied.
Don't-
He bullied a few people,
But he's a righty, exactly. Don't let people know that he's actually a right hand.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I'll hang up and listen, man. Big fan. Salute.
Yo, salute to you, pal, man. Salute to you.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah, great call, man.
Yo, he's right because look, Nate Robinson, Jamal Crawford, Stephon Marbury. Jeez, that team was rough to watch, man. Eddie Curry was Zebo.
Yeah. That's funny. I kind of actually like that team a little bit to the low key, even though we were
because there was actually some potential there. You could
Yeah,
kind of see it working,
yeah.
but then when it actually all played out, didn't work. But the thing is that we had no cap space.
yeah.
We had no draft. We
mortgaged
later on we
everything.
had no draft picks. We just had nothing. You know, like, jeez, no. The situation we're in right now, we're competent. We're playing good basketball. We've lost games not by like a terrible margin. We've lost them by a couple points. Celtics, Nets, those are close games. Like we're not getting blown out. Like
Nothing.
we had bad games against the Nuggets and the Bucks, two totally different teams. Like the Nuggets are an offensive juggernaut. Bucks, Giannis Antetokounmpo, that's he's unguardable at this point. You know, Julius Randle did give him some problems when the first matchup, but once those guys adjust and they put their mind to it, that's a tough team to guard.
Tough.
If those are the two teams we're gonna if we're gonna get blown out by, and every other game is gonna be close.
Yeah, I'll take it. It's hard.
Like,
it's hard to watch.
Absolutely, man. We're fans. We want this team to win. We want it to be good. And it's been so long since we've actually seen a good, competent team. Now we have it. Now we're in the playoff race. We want to see more. And of course, like, I want them to win too. But like, if we're putting this whole season in perspective, like trying to put a bow on it, what we were expecting at the beginning of the season, we were expecting not to make playoffs. Some of us were expecting, like, if we get over what the Vegas odds were 22.5 wins, we're money. We're doing it.
And we exceeded that.
And we exceeded that. And if guys are developing along the way, whether you have RJ Barrett, if Knox came along, difficult time for him. I wish, I'd like to see him get more playing time. If Obi's coming along, he looks like he's slowly getting his confidence. You see IQ's a steal of the draft. Like, we got a steal of the draft.
We got a steal of the draft. Come. Oh, we gotta steal the draft, man.
When does that ever happen?
Come on, man.
When does that ever happen? And we have 3 draft picks. Like, you could, the Pistons is a second rounder. It's 31. That's truly like just a first rounder in my eyes.
Exactly. And we did the same thing with Mitch, by the way. I'm gonna just let that. We did the same thing with Mitch.
Yeah, and Mitch has been a good find from the second round, right?
Absolutely.
Like, he's another one that you're not saying, you don't have to completely give up on. You could see what he is for like one more season. You can try to extend him, get him on a cheaper deal, and see what he can become. But when Mitch is on the court, and we've seen how important he is, we found a guy who's a defensive anchor of our team. So we're getting pieces. We're slowly building. It's starting to look up. Yes. It is way better than what it's been. And, shout out to Leon Rose. Shout out to Worldwide West. Shout out to Scott Perry. Shout out to all these.
Wait.
These.
Shout out to Worldwide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
I had to do it. Go ahead.
I love it. No, like, shout out to these guys. And it's like this is something that's totally different. Like, we got clean books. Like, we're gonna
clean books, man.
60 million in cap space.
Yeah, man.
What team is this?
That's our team.
What team is this?
For the ones. That's our team, man.
So
yeah, man.
It's starting to look up, man. Like, I get it. It's a tough stretch of games that we've lost. It happens to even some good teams. Look, the Utah Jazz have lost some good teams. Granted, they're in a totally different place. But it happens to teams. We're still getting there. We're just slowly getting.
Exactly. We still in the game. But shout out to you guys. You know what? I'm gonna pay some bills too. Let's pay some bills real quick. All right. I'm gonna hit it. Let's hit it, you guys. All right. As you know, shout out to the KOT supporters, man, cause y'all showing out. Y'all showing out, cause we have an official sponsor. All right. We have an official sponsor. As I'm looking. Hold on a second. All right. Here we go. All right. Here you go. You already know what the official sponsor is, right? It's Manscaped, all right? So this episode is brought to you by Manscaped. Flowers are blooming, the grass is growing, and it's time to chop the weeds. Thanks to our sponsor at Manscaped, you can trim your holes safely and efficiently. I'm talking about the ball trimmers. You're talking about, the Trimmer 3.0. I got to cop that. All right. It says Manscaped, the global leaders in men's below the waist grooming, have an exclusive offer for our audience. Use the code KOT to get 20% off and free shipping and get manscaped.com. Join the other 2 million men who trust Manscaped. They're here to make sure that you're trimmed and smelling nice after all this time for spring cleaning. And as I always say when Ryan's here, always got to use the ball deodorant. It's the best kept secret for sure. You don't want down there looking like Fizdale's hair, all right? So get these ball trimmers 3.0. Make sure that's, make sure it's all knifed up nice, and the ladies will thank you, all right? Shout out to Manscaped.
Ow.
Pay the bills. Gotta pay those bills sometimes, man. Gotta pay those bills.
I gotta say, I like the image of the lawnmower just cutting the grass.
Hell yeah.
I like the touch.
Nice touch. All right. Now we've got some things to take care of, man. We got to figure out how to close these games, and we have a game. We have a tough game coming up. Versus the Grizzlies, man. The Memphis Grizzlies are next. John Morant is a terror. You know how it is guarding these point guards. You're getting burned by guards a little bit recently. So, Alex, how do you feel? How do you feel about our chances, man? How do you feel about our chances with these Memphis Grizzlies?
I think I saw John Morant go down, right? Didn't he go down recently? If he's not playing, I feel very confident.
Did he go down recently?
I think he got injured. I think he only played 10 minutes yesterday. I think he hurt his hip.
Okay.
Depends if he plays. I feel more confident if he's not playing, obviously. They're still a good team. It's going to be a battle. I don't think this is a team, we're in most of these games, so I'm not terrified going into them like last season or even 2 years ago, but it will be a battle. We have to make sure we can lock up Ja. They got some good shooters. It's just really guarding the perimeter better than what we have been doing the last couple of games, especially when we saw against the Celtics last night, especially against the Nets. We got to do a better job covering the three, especially their best 3-point shooters.
Yeah, absolutely. We can kind of getting burnt on penetration and then getting killed on kickouts. I do feel like RJ, he's been over helping a lot of times, and that's why we were getting burned a lot of those times. So we definitely have to watch out for that. The rebounding has been an issue as of late. We've been severely out-rebounded in the last few games. 53 to 39 rebounds last game. They had 16 offensive rebounds to 5 rebounds the last game. We were severely missing Mitchell Robinson. And at least, Mitch wasn't the best defensive rebound all the time, but I always know, even when we're missing, he's going to give us some second opportunities on the offensive end. So we're severely missing him on the rebounding tip. So, but shout out to Mikey again, who's kind of right. He wrote an article, and this is going to be up tomorrow morning, you guys. So you can watch it on NickTimeShow.com. Some of his keys to beating the Memphis Grizzlies rebounding the ball for 48 minutes because, you took a quarter off, and we didn't get those offensive rebounds and key points of the fourth quarter yesterday, which cost us the game. All for the perimeter defense, like you mentioned, and especially from that second unit, from the Memphis Grizzlies. They have a bunch of sharpshooters, so we're definitely going to have to keep them in check. Watch out for those things, and we should be fine. Hopefully, you're hoping that Randle snaps out of it. You're hoping the shooting from RJ Barrett continues, and then maybe we'll even see something more from Quickley and D Rose and these guys, because we're gonna need some help. There's only a few people who really scored in the double digits yesterday. We had Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, and then Derrick Rose, who scored 11, and everybody else was in single digits.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's our show, guys. I don't see anybody else in the queue. Thank you for everybody who who hit that Discord chat and talk to us. Let me give you guys one last shout out real quick before we wrap it up. PS Streety says we need this win. Yo, shout out to you. Shout out to my guy Tell him Alejandro, the first ever caller of the KOT show. Shout out to you, my guy. All right. Shout out to Anthony 212, Iller, my cousin Winston. Mama said don't trust you. Shout out to Chris. I don't want to say. I might get banned for saying that word. Shitu. Shout out to Chris Shitu. Shout out to King Bernard 30, Terrell Turner, and everybody else, John Talento, everybody else who's rocking with us on the KOT. All right. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Please share with your peoples so we can spread the word that KOT is doing some things. And also, you know what? Definitely gotta check out my guy's podcast. Alex, he's Alex Tradacaster on Twitter, but definitely look up Knicks, Jets, etc. And look at his show as well. He always does good work, and he always contributes pretty nicely to the KOT show. So shout out to you, Alex, as well. And yeah, as always, if you want to help support the channel, if as well monetarily, Super chats are welcome. We also have PayPal and Cash App. I don't buy new Jordans. I'm upgrading stuff. I'm paying writers and trying to keep the shit moving. All right. All right. So thank you for everybody who is rocking with the KO2 show. Alex, let them know where they can find you, sir.
Jealous, as always, I appreciate coming on the Nick of Time show and talking Knicks with you. And thank you for the kind words. I appreciate the hard work that you do as well. You've been putting out a great product for such a long time. And I love your takes as well.
Thank you, man.
Salute. And for Knicks Nation, salute to you for being a great fan base. And if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter at Tradacaster101. You can follow my work at Hoops Habit, part of the Fansided Network. I cover the Knicks and part of the NBA there. You can also find my work at Knicks, Jets, etc., the podcast, which is on all streaming platforms, whether it's Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Overcast, Google Play, Amazon Alexa, you name it. We're on all those platforms. Also, you can find me over at KnicksFanTV.com. I contribute there as well. And if you're into sports betting, do some NBA sports betting over at Tally Site. And that's where you can find all my work.
All right. And also, guys, you can find me. You can find us at the KOT Show on Twitter. That's where I'm on Twitter. We're also on Instagram as well. All right, at the Nick of Time Show. Trying to get to 10K. Trying to get to that 10K follower range on Instagram, yo. If you don't realize, if you get to that 10K mark, it opens up a whole new world. The swipe up game is nice. So if you're on Instagram, please follow us on Instagram and help us get to that 10K mark. All right. We are on all social medias too. We're on Facebook as well. You can see some, and you also check out the blog at thetimeshow.com. Also find us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Apple, etc. The latest episodes are being uploaded as you speak, so hang tight. The newer episodes are coming. I'm producing more content, so the workflow is all over the place. So readjusting things is taking a second, but new content is going to be uploaded to SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and Apple as well. So stay tuned for that as well. And yeah, that's it. And get the merch as well if you feel like getting some merch. Got the KOT merch, RJ merch, all that stuff at thenickoftimeshow.com. All you gotta do is go to hit that catalog button at the top, and you'll see all the merch. All right, that is our show, guys. We out of here. 20 more games to go. Peace. And before I even go, you know what I gotta do, right?
Shout out the World Wide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
I love it.
Every single time.